Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today's topic is on Hindu Succession Act and the rights that accrue to the daughter in terms of from the ancestral property and also the self-acquired property of the father. Before 2005, when the Succession Amendment Act came, the rights of a woman was very limited. She was recognized as the part of Hindu undivided family, but those rights were not accruing in terms of claiming rights over ancestral property. Now, why is it important for a woman to assert her right over her father's property? If you ask a woman, she would say that she doesn't really want to. That is the reason why we see a lot of relinquishment deeds which come saying that they want to relinquish their right and that the ancestral property or the property of the father should actually go to the brother. We've seen, however, so many times that brothers are understanding enough to ensure that the sister gets what is her actual right. But for these things to happen, is law enough? Is the amendment enough to bring about that right, or do we need a cultural change, a mindset change in order to execute it? I think that's food for thought for all of us. However, coming back to the topic, the 2005 amendment brought about this right for the daughter to claim right over her father's ancestral property or his self-acquired property. So in terms of the Succession Amendment Act, we see that if the father dies intestate here meaning that there is no will which has been left behind, the daughter will be considered as a class 1 heir and will have equal right with the sons, and also a part will go to the widow. The class 1 heir definition is important, and for all of us to understand, this is where the amendment actually came in section 6 of the act, where the daughters were included as part and parcel of the class 1 heir. So it was not important that whether the daughter was born after the amendment. It did not matter what was her date of birth. All that was required was that the father should be alive on and after the date of amendment, which was 9th of September 2005. In 2018, judgment came from Supreme Court where it was very clearly given that even if the daughter was dead before the amendment came, the heirs of the daughter could claim a partition right over her part of the property. But if one looks at it, there is still a clear bias or discrimination that one sees as far as the interstate rights are concerned, as far as if, let's say, the woman dies, who inherits it. In our law as it stands today, if a woman dies without leaving a will, the property rights actually accrue to the husband and they do not go to the parents. I think that bias is still there. As a matter of fact, we've seen that even in agricultural land holdings, a lot of times the rights do not accrue to the daughter for the simple reason that they do not want the fragmentation of agricultural lands to take place. I think one of the reasons why this amendment was required was to make sure that daughters were able to assert their rights on the ancestral and self-acquired property. But the reason why we see a lot of relinquishment deeds which come from a daughter in favor of the brother is primarily because they feel at some level that since they've been married off, they have more rights to assert from their husband's. However, if we look at what really happened, there was a study that was conducted between 1970 to 1990 and which basically translated that there was an increase in female feticide because it was felt that if the girl child was given a right into the parents' property, the lands would get fragmented and that the holdings would not remain within the family. There has been so many reasons as a result of which even today women do not assert this right because they feel that the dowry was paid off or that a considerable amount was paid even after the marriage and that they should not be asserting their right. However, with the increase in divorces and maintenances which do not really translate so much, the ineffectiveness of execution petitions, and a lot of problems that one typically faces in the manner in which family laws are being executed. One sees it, the fact that a woman still has the right over her father's property is in some manner a safeguard for her own interest. I'm actually leaving a link below, which is a talk given by Justice Leela Seth on the right of inheritance for women, especially daughters. There she talks about how the evils of society primarily makes a woman leave aside the rights which have been given to her by the law of the land. And she very beautifully talks about how important it is for a woman to inherit property from ancestral properties, or the fact that parents, especially fathers, should give inheritance right instead of the dowry. That, I think, is an interesting point of view to look at. Thank you so much for watching my video. The link below is on the talk given by Justice Leela Seth. Do like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can leave your comment right in there if you have any query pertaining to Hindu Succession Act. Thank you so much and good night.